Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to part 5 of this Final Fantasy II Pixel Remaster Platinum Trophy walkthrough. We just left Castle Deist, and now we're heading north and into the Deist Cavern. When you get in, walk immediately to your right, grab a chest, and then keep going toward the right, and you will go down the nearby staircase. There's a sparkly helmet on the ground, so interact with it. You come across the remains of a dragoon. Something nearby on the ground catches your eye. You found a pendant. The pendant allows us to talk to a wyvern, so now we're going to go all the way back to Castle Deist. Luckily, it's a pretty short walk for us, so just backtrack the way you came, head out the exit, and now just walk a little bit south through the canyon area, and eventually you'll get back to the castle. When you go inside, just head straight north, and then you will go up the stairs. From here, go right and down the first hallway. You'll see the boy and the mother. We're going to skip them for now and instead head into the door that they're standing next to. Walk up and talk to the wyvern. We seek your aid in destroying the Empire, our common foe. Will you help us? The Empire's poison already courses through my veins. I will not escape the fate that befell my brood. We're going to ask him about dragoons. Shortly before the battle with the Empire, a dragoon named Ricard set out to find the ultimate magic. Where he has gone, I do not know. Now ask about wyverns. I have one last request to make of you. Take this egg to the cavern north of here and submerge it in the life spring. It is the last remaining wyvern egg. If it is not submerged in the lake spring soon, it will wither and die. You obtained the Wyvern Egg. With the Wyvern Egg in hand, we're now going to go back to the Deist Cavern. That's the same place that we were just at. We're doing lots of back and forth in this episode. This time around, we're going to be staying a bit longer than the last time that we were there. We have some new bestiary entries to get, and we've got a lot of treasure chests to find. So let's head out of Castle Deist, all the way back through the canyon and into the Deist Caverns once again. Now, instead of going straight across to the right, we're going to head south, and there's two pathways, one to the left and one to the right. Let's go to the left one first. Once you go down there, head over toward the right side, and there's a little bit of a gap in between the rocks on the bottom. You want to go through those. Here's one of the new enemies that we can find here. They are yellow souls. They're pretty easy to defeat. Just a couple hits will be enough for that. The entire first floor where you first come into this is all repeat monsters, so you won't find anything new there. However, once you progress further, you're able to start getting new monsters to add to the bestiary. So on this floor, we can encounter those yellow souls. Now let's head down, grab the treasure chest for an ether, and we're going to backtrack the way that we came back to the first floor. From here, we're going to go now all the way to the right on the bottom side, and there's going to be another exit that we can take to go down to the floor again. Okay, back to the second floor. We're going to now proceed up, and we're going to work our way around the outside of the room on the right, and we're going to get back toward the middle section. From here, we're going to go toward the north first. We can open this chest for some mithril armor. Now go all the way down and stick a little bit toward the right. You'll be able to open another chest for a mithril helm. Head on up. We're going to skip past the middle path at first, and we're going to go to the bottom left corner. I did encounter these revenants. They can actually be fairly difficult, especially if you don't have the strength or the weapon levels that you would for being more over leveled. It's hard to really say levels because this game doesn't use them in that sense, but for all intents and purposes, we'll just say if you're under leveled at this point, these guys can hit really hard and they can take you out fairly quickly, and they also steal health when they attack you, so that just makes them a little bit harder to kill because they are constantly healing themselves. Well, now that that's done, like I said, we're going to keep going toward the left side, and we're going to stick down on the bottom section here. When you open this chest, it is another monster encounter. However, this one is a whole lot nicer for us. These are green souls, and these ones only want to help us. So what you'll see is that they will actually cast cure spells on us, which can be very nice for healing us. So we have a cure 6 coming in, does lots of health, and really it could be beneficial just to wait a minute before you kill all of them, because he will actually start to cast that cure spell on all of our party members, and it's a nice way to get a free heal, especially if you've been doing a lot of fighting down here, looking for some of the monsters to add to the bestiary. This is just a nice way to top up your health before eventually finishing him off. With that out of the way, we get a mage's staff. It is a bit of an upgrade for our weapon, so I'll go ahead and throw that on Maria. And now I'm going to head up, and we will stick toward the left side as we go up and around. Then you'll just walk down the left side of this room, and eventually you will come to a staircase. So head through that. And now we're going to go around, and we will interact with the chest on the bottom. It's a mithril shield. Go up and step onto the bridge. When you get about halfway through, you'll fall down to the next section. This is a great place to find one of the next bestiary entries that we need. They seem to appear much more frequently in this area, so walk around a little bit and eventually you'll encounter this ogre chief. They're the ones in the back, the more green and brown ones. The ogre mages up front, those are the ones that are a little bit more dangerous because they like to cast magic on your whole group of characters, and that can do a lot of damage quickly. So we'll eliminate those ones first. The ogre chiefs really aren't anything special. We're just going to hit them with a couple attacks and they'll be out without giving us too much of an issue. Proceeding on, we're going to go up to the top left corner, and when we get up there, you will find that there's a staircase, so go ahead and go down that. From here, we're going to go down and toward the right. We're going to just work our way around the whole bottom section. We're making a big U shape as we go around here. And in the bottom right corner, you will get a treasure chest that has monsters in it. These are adamantoises. They're just like what we've already fought. Remember that they're very resistant toward physical attacks, but they're very weak against magic. So do yourself a favor and don't use a lot of physical attacks on this, just focus on magic. Layla has some pretty good thunder magic that you can use, and these guys are especially weak toward blizzard magic. So if you've got that, go ahead and use that on them, and hopefully this battle won't take you too long. I am going to speed this one up for you just to get through it a little bit quicker, because it can be kind of a long fight otherwise, especially if you don't have high level black magics. So here we go, we'll just speed it up and we'll be done soon. Alright, they're gone. I did get a couple blizzard spell level ups just because I used it so often that I was able to move that up. You get the knight's armor from the chest, and that's a nice little upgrade to our armor, so I'm just going to throw that on Furion real quick, and then proceed up and get the 3 treasure chests, which can be found in the upper right corner of this path. Well, with that done, we can take the new flame bow that we got, we'll throw that onto Layla. Make sure that everyone has optimal equipment. Guy still needs at least 1 sword, preferably 2, however. That'll just help him to keep up on those sword levels as we go throughout the game. And now we're going to go all the way back the way that we came, and we will exit out the top left corner. This room, once again, is just a lot of backtracking, so follow the path around, and eventually you'll get to the staircase to take up. Okay, now we're going to loop around and we're going to go up the staircase once again when we get to the other side. Now proceed all the way toward the left. We were in this room before. This is one of the first places we went to, so we're just going back toward the left side up the stairs. This is the entrance room, and now we're going to go out the bottom right corner again. So we've just kind of made a big loop here, and we're going to continue on following that same path as before up the right side, and that will take us around and into the middle of the room. Now this time we're going to take a different exit, and we're going to go into the middle and then straight down, and there's a staircase here that we skipped past before. This takes us into a new area with that same bridge that breaks, but now we're on the other side of it. So go up, grab the treasure chest up here for the mithril gloves, and then proceed around, and eventually you will get to the next treasure chest here. So that's mithril armor. From here, we're going to go back around, and we're going to go down by that bridge that breaks, but we're not going to get on that. We're just going to go back up the stairs the way that we came. And now we're going to go over toward that left side again, and we're going to go up into the top left corner and then back down. Eventually we'll get to the stairs that we have to take down to the side with the broken bridge that we did originally. Now this time go around by the bridge, but keep going north, and we're going to work our way around the outside of this whole room. There's a very narrow path, and this will actually take us to the exit or the end of this whole cavern. So we've made very good progress at this point. We're going to now walk all the way down and out the stairs. From here, work around into this middle area with a big pillar, and then grab the treasure chest that's right here for an acid vial. That is the last treasure chest that we need for this whole place, but we'll confirm that just before leaving. Go out the nearby stairs, and you'll see 4 doors here. We're going to walk around a little bit until we get the last B-series entries that we need. So once again, we're just fighting the 2 ogre chiefs in the back and 1 ogre mage. They go down pretty easy. You don't have to worry about these guys too much. The only real reason that I'm showing this is because of what we get after the fight, and that would be a wing sword. So these guys do drop this sword. It's a very good weapon, and it's a sword, which is awesome for Guy. I'm going to put 1 onto Furion right now, and that's a really big upgrade to our arsenal, and that's going to be pretty handy against the next boss too, because it does a lot of damage. Well, let's keep walking around. I encountered this Gigantode. I only found 1 of these the entire time that I was playing through this, and trust me, I spent a lot of time going through these areas as I make these videos, and I only found the 1. Now, you don't have to find this guy now because we will get him later on in the game, but I just wanted to show you that he does exist in this area, but it's incredibly rare to find him. So don't worry if you don't see the Gigantode. You don't have to sit here for hours trying to find him. Just move on with your life if that's the case, if you can't find him. But if you get him, great. That's one more thing we don't need. But I'm not going to consider that a very necessary thing to get at this time. So as I've walked around, I've gotten a couple of wing swords now. I did find another one for Guy as I was walking around. So now both Furion and Guy have that, and that's pretty good. We'll go into the 3rd door, and the boss is right in front of us. So I'm just going to make sure everyone's healed up and do a quick save. We should be all ready to encounter this next boss. And this boss does have kind of a weird thing to it, where the difficulty is dependent on the number of monsters that actually spawn, because it's like a regular monster. However, there's going to be either 1, 2, 3, or 4 of them. Guide tells us that the Chimera is after the Wyvern Egg, so we're going to be fighting over that right now. So I got very unlucky, and I got 4 Chimeras, which is the hardest that this boss fight could be. If you want to, you could reset the game and hope that you get a different grouping of monsters, so you could make it easier for yourself. Let me know down in the comments how many of these monsters you fought when it was your time to go through that. They come with 2 different attacks. They either do a physical attack, which does decent damage, or they can use Blaze, which hurts all of your party members with a pretty strong fire attack. And these guys can really wear your HP quickly if you're dealing with 4 of them. So I like to do a little bit of white magic just to give me a bit of an edge. You can use Blink and Protect. That kind of fortifies yourself against those physical attacks, and that just stops you from being kind of singled out with those very powerful attacks. And now that we're a little bit more buffed up, we're going to just have our party members attack with everything we've got. If you're not doing a lot of physical damage like that, you could always try to use your magic attacks with Maria, the Black Mage. She's pretty good. And we're going to have Furion basically work on keeping everyone alive at this point, while the other 3 party members do their best to focus down different ones of these chimeras. They've got 750 HP each, so if you can get a couple good attacks in there, you can see that when that wing sword attacks, it does lots of damage to them. The wing sword actually does bonus damage to flying enemies, and I believe that the Chimera is classified as a flying enemy because, I don't know, it has wings or something on its back. Doesn't really look like it's flying to me, but either way I will take it, and we will be able to use that wing sword to great effect to kill these enemies quickly, and that will give me just enough to get through this fight. I do kind of squeak by on this one, even with going through and doing a little bit of extra looking around, fighting lots of monsters in this area. It was still a pretty close battle, so hopefully you have better luck with getting fewer numbers of chimeras, but it is definitely possible to take out all 4 of them if that's the fate that the game has given you. Because the RNG was not on my side, this was probably the most difficult battle so far in the game for me. If you like these videos and find them helpful, hit that like button, let me know down in the comments, and also hit that subscribe button so that you can stay up to date with more to come in the future. Now go over and talk to the water. The life spring is awash with a soft light, and use the key item Wyvern Egg. The Wyvern Egg sinks gently to the bottom of the spring. Well, our main mission here has been accomplished. Let's double check everything to make sure that we're good to go. So first off, let's check over the treasures that we need. We have all 13 of them from this location. Now let's have a peek at the bestiary to make sure that we have all the monsters. Alright, starting off, let's scroll down to number 16, that is Ogre Chief. Now go to 26, that's Revenant. Keep scrolling down, you'll eventually get to number 81, Green Soul, and 82 is Yellow Soul. In this place we also could encounter number 114, Hillgigas, but we got that in the Dreadnought, so don't worry too much about that. We're not counting the Gigantode for this place either because it's just too rare. Well, if you have everything, use that teleport spell to head on out, and then just walk a little ways down this path, and eventually you will run into Castle Deist again. Once again, we're just going to go straight up and into the next room. From here, go to the right, down the first hallway, you'll see the boy and the mother again. If you go into the room right next to them, you'll see that the wyvern is no longer there. So let's head on out and we will talk to the mother right next to us. The last living wyvern is dead, but the egg you placed in the spring remains. Someday it will hatch, and the wyvern will spread its great wings and soar through the sky for the rebels. The wyverns can't thank you enough for what you've done, so allow me to do so in their place. We are grateful. The wyvern, it's dead. Well, that's all we need to do here. Just talk to those two, and now let's head on out. Okay, we're going to proceed down. And that really ends everything that we need to do with this Deist area. So we're going to go back to our boat. It should be just south of us here. And we'll hop aboard. And our next thing that we need to do is to take a little boat trip. We're going all the way back to Altair, which is quite a bit of a voyage for us. So go around the island where we started at Deist and then just go north. You're going to loop around to the bottom side of the map and just keep going north. You'll have to go up quite a ways and you will then go through the little channel that goes around the different peninsulas here, and eventually you will come out to the other side. Then it's just a little bit of a trip heading toward the west. Eventually you will see the shore where Altair is, so head on out and then go into town. The first thing we're going to do is head up to the inn because we're going to rest up. And I want to point out that when I got here originally, it cost 413 gil to heal all of my missing HP and MP. However, if I use the cure spell outside of battle, not only am I raising my cure level, which is a good thing for a trophy, but I'm also making it so that the inn does not charge me for the missing HP that it would fill up. So now it's only 254 gil. That's a significant savings. So do yourself a favor, before you rest at the inn, use the cure spell to make sure that your HP is filled up, and then you'll be all set. Now is a good time to remove all the equipment from Layla because she's going to be removing herself from our team very soon. So with all of her equipment back in our inventory, we'll go into the rebel hideout. Now go toward the right side when you get to the top floor and all the way down. You can go into the bottom room and there's going to be a little scene that plays out once you head inside. So save up beforehand if you want to, and then when you're ready, talk to Hilda. Firion, there's something I would like to discuss with you. We'll be waiting outside. Come to me, Firion. Your Highness. Why are you just standing there? I don't enjoy being teased. Now you're mine, Firion. What have you done with the princess? Not so fast, you scurvy snake. We're forced into a battle with the Lamia Queen. This was actually a very easy battle for me. Now, Layla doesn't have any equipment on, so we're going to just use her magic command to cast Thunder on the Lamia Queen. That'll do a decent amount of damage. Everyone else can just use normal attacks, and then, if you want, just throw it into auto battle, and the battle should be done very quickly. This battle only took me about 30 seconds to complete, so very easy fight for you, especially if you get the preemptive attack like I did. This will not be a struggle whatsoever for you. Layla, just how much of that did you see? Enough to know you shouldn't be letting your guard down around fetching young ladies, I'd say. Where real princess? I've terrible news. We've just heard a tournament is being held in Palamecia, and Princess Hilda is the prize. I'm coming with you. I want to help you rescue Hilda. Don't worry, I know just how you feel, Captain. Me and me boys will manage your army. I run a tight ship. No need to fret over us. Gordon joined the party. And with that, we are all set with the Rebels' hideout, so we can go back outside and into the main part of Altair. And now we're just going to head on outside. I decided to check out Gordon's equipment, and I optimized it to find that he's actually a little bit better using that flame bow. I threw him in the back row, and he'll just work on leveling up that bow skill, and that shouldn't be too much of a problem. We're back out to the world map now, and we're going to pause it right here. We will pick up right here next time when we will travel to Palamecia to take part in a tournament to hopefully win Hilda's freedom from the Emperor of Palamecia. So with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to hit the next part with you very shortly. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss it, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, and have a good day.